Hi all, it's Susan Osher here. Thank you first of all to NEDIC for giving me the opportunity to give some tips, reflections, insights into this crazy surreal time of COVID-19. Perhaps the biggest piece that's fallen away is our routines and our structure, and we have no real time that we need to get up, to be going out to work, to have to get to school, maybe to be even there for a meal. Everything is in disarray. We also don't have bedtimes that are really structured. Screen time, for the most part, is up for most people, and meal times are all over the map. In general, there's also a lack of stimulation. We have the same people, the same place, the same food, the same themes. Everything is very consistent. We have also more time to think, which causes rumination for a lot of us. Mood disorders can go up with increased anxiety and depression. We also have it's hard to not be a little bit more anxious than usual when we have constant bombardment with number of cases, number of deaths, different countries, not being sure when this is all going to be over. So my messaging to you is to really try to create structure for those of you who are finding yourselves overeating or binging or mindless eating. It's very important to have 3 meals a day that are enjoyable, fully satisfying, and enough. What I call punctuation, so that you eat a meal, feel satisfied, and that's done for that meal, that you can go on about your day doing what you need to be doing, which is very limited, but at least that part of eating is done. If you happen to be unable to wake up early because you're going to sleep too late, at least label that as meal 1, even if it lands up being at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because you're probably going to be going to sleep at 2, and so that helps to create meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, that you have some sort of structure around that. Also, don't eat in the same place that you're doing everything else, so that you're creating places where you might be working or watching TV, and the place where you are eating. The other important piece is to create times for hunger and times for satiety, so that it doesn't become a whole big blur of grazing. And that's very, very easy in times like this. So we need to have time that we give our body food that's fully adequate, both on a sort of spiritual level as well as a nutritional level, and we walk away from that table feeling satisfied, and we give time to digest and get things going, so that we have time for our bodies to get clued into it's time to eat again, after not having much in your stomach for at least a couple of hours. So creating that structure is really important without restricting, otherwise you'll be thinking about food when you leave the table. Tap into what feels like hunger rather than emotional hunger. And also, really importantly, to create variety. You have times now where hopefully you've got a little bit more time for preparation and cooking food. Use that as maybe a challenge or an exciting opportunity to try out new foods and new recipes. The other big piece is to create other stimulation, whether that's hobbies, changing environment, going outside 3 times a day, just to even sit in your backyard or in your balcony, walk around the block with safe social distancing, physical distancing, and create other opportunities of crafts in your house, and to not be mindless around your eating, so that you're not working or doing TV or having screen times or speaking on the phone while you're eating. The other problem is people who love too much routine. So with increased anxiety, the chance of the desire for more routine and more stipulations it will go up. So people struggling with ARFID or very restrictive eating or picky eating, together with anorexia or feeling very much in need of a routine in order to feel stable, it's really important to increase your variety, to keep the blurry lines going so that you are not decreasing your eating, that you're also making sure that it's a priority to not get too stuck in your routines, which causes us to get very rigid around our eating and to create those loops, potentially losing weight, which is a very, very high risk for creating those neurological loops that keep us going with very, very repetitive, very deadly, dangerous, sometimes ways of eating and being around our food. Finally, I just want to state that it's very important to try and be using family whenever you can, or whoever's in your environment, to eat together with people, hopefully with good role models, and to be able to challenge yourself to eat more risky foods and more changes in timing or amounts, even though you don't have those social prompts of eating out with your friends, etc. And also to create a full life within our limitations. Learn something new every day, do something spiritual, whether it's meditation or prayer, reach out to help others, and most importantly, have self-compassion and a lot of self-care with showering and putting body lotion on and being good to yourself. All the very best to stay sane, to stay safe, and to stay healthy. The best.